A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. A Raisin in the Sun is a powerful play by Lorraine Hansberry that explores the struggles of an African-American family, the Youngers, living in a small apartment in Chicago during the 1950s. The family anticipates a life-changing insurance check after the death of the father, which each member hopes to use differently. Mama, the matriarch, wants to buy a house to fulfill her dream of providing for her family. Her son, Walter Lee, dreams of investing in a liquor store to elevate their status, while Benitha, Walter's sister, hopes to use the money for medical school. The play delves into themes of racial identity, dreams, economic hardship, and the tension between individual ambition and family unity, offering a vivid portrayal of the challenges African Americans faced in a racially segregated society. Let's deep dive into the book. The Younger Family's Struggles. The Younger family lives in a cramped apartment in Chicago's South Side, dealing with financial hardship and racial discrimination. Lena Younger, known as Mama, is the moral center of the family, working hard to maintain her household and keep her family's spirit alive despite their difficulties. Her son, Walter Lee, works as a chauffeur, but dreams of achieving more and providing for his family by investing in a liquor store. Meanwhile, Walter's wife, Ruth, struggles to keep the peace in the household while also grappling with an unexpected pregnancy. The family's daily life is marked by unfulfilled dreams, tension, and frustration over their economic circumstances. The life insurance check. The plot centers around a $10,000 life insurance check the family is expecting after the death of Walter Lee's father. Each member of the family has their own plans for the money, leading to conflict. Mama dreams of using the money to buy a house, fulfilling a lifelong goal, and offering her family stability. Walter Lee sees the check as an opportunity to invest in a liquor store, believing that financial success will solve their problems. Benitha, Walter's sister, wants to use the money to fund her medical education, hoping to break away from societal expectations and achieve her personal goals. The differing visions for the money create deep divisions within the family, as each member tries to assert their dreams. Mama's dream of home ownership. Mama's dream of buying a house represents the fulfillment of the American dream for the Younger family. She yearns to provide a better life for her family, free from the struggles of their cramped apartment. Mama's desire for a house in a predominantly white neighborhood is also an act of defiance against the racial segregation of the time. When she uses part of the insurance money as a down payment on a house in Clybourne Park, a white neighborhood, it becomes a symbol of both hope and potential danger, as the family risks facing racial hostility from their new neighbors. Walter Lee's desperation and ambition. Walter Lee's desire to invest in a liquor store reflects his frustration with his position in life and his ambition to rise above his working-class status. Throughout the play, Walter struggles with feelings of inadequacy, believing that money and business success will make him a man and give him the power and control he lacks. His obsession with financial gain blinds him to the importance of family, leading to tense moments with his wife, Ruth, and his mother. When Walter decides to invest the insurance money in a business deal that goes wrong, his desperation and misplaced trust lead to a devastating betrayal, forcing him to reassess his values and priorities. Benitha's struggle for identity. Benitha Younger, Walter's sister, is an intelligent and ambitious young woman who dreams of becoming a doctor. Her aspirations reflect her desire to break free from traditional gender roles and societal expectations for African American women. Throughout the play, Benitha grapples with questions of cultural identity, especially as she interacts with two suitors, George Murchison, who represents assimilation into white society, and Joseph Asagai, a Nigerian intellectual who encourages her to embrace her African heritage. Benitha's journey is one of self-discovery, as she navigates the pressures of family expectations and her personal quest for independence. The Clybourne Park Offer. As the family prepares to move to their new house, they receive a visit from Carl Lindner, a representative of the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. Lindner offers the Youngers money to stay out of the neighborhood, reflecting the racist attitudes of the time. His offer is a bribe to prevent an African-American family from moving into a white community. The Youngers are initially conflicted, especially after Walter loses the rest of the insurance money in a failed business deal, but they ultimately reject Lindner's offer. This decision symbolizes the family's courage and dignity in the face of racial prejudice and their determination to pursue a better life despite the obstacles. Walter Lee's redemption. After the failure of his business deal and the loss of the family's remaining money, Walter reaches a low point, feeling humiliated and defeated. He considers accepting Lindner's offer, but in a pivotal moment, Walter decides to reject the bribe and move forward with the family's plan to move into the new house. This act of defiance and integrity represents Walter's personal growth and redemption. He finally recognizes the importance of family and the value of dignity over material wealth. By standing up to Lindner, Walter proves that his self-worth is not dependent on financial success, but on his ability to protect and uplift his family. Ruth's desire for stability. Ruth, Walter's wife, represents the quiet strength and endurance of the family. She works as a domestic worker and does her best to support Walter despite their struggles. Ruth is worn down by the family's financial problems, and the stress of living in a cramped apartment and her unexpected pregnancy adds to her worries. Initially, Ruth contemplates an abortion, fearing that they cannot afford another child. However, the prospect of moving into a new house gives Ruth hope for the future, and her relationship with Walter is strengthened as they prepare to face their challenges together. Mama's role as the matriarch. Mama, or Lena Younger, is the moral and emotional center of the Younger family. She is deeply religious and committed to maintaining the values of family, faith, and love that have guided her through life. Mama's strength and wisdom help hold the family together during times of crisis, and her decision to buy a house reflects her determination to secure a better future for her children and grandchildren. Throughout the play, Mama struggles with the changing dynamics within her family, particularly as Walter seeks to assert his authority as the man of the house. However, her unwavering love for her family helps guide them through their trials. The theme of dreams deferred. The title of the play, A Raisin in the Sun, is inspired by Langston Hughes's poem Harlem, which asks, what happens to a dream deferred? Each member of the Younger family has dreams that have been postponed or threatened by their circumstances. Mama's dream of homeownership, Walter's ambition for financial success, Beneatha's desire for education and self-discovery, and Ruth's hope for stability all reflect the struggle for upward mobility and personal fulfillment in the face of racial and economic barriers. The play explores how dreams can be crushed by societal forces, but also how resilience and determination can keep them alive. Let's meet together the main characters of the book. Walter Lee Younger is the central character of A Raisin in the Sun, a man in his 30s struggling to find his place in the world. He works as a chauffeur, but dreams of achieving financial success through business ventures, hoping to lift his family out of poverty. Walter's frustration with his limited opportunities leads to tension with his family, especially as he becomes consumed with the idea of investing in a liquor store. Throughout the play, Walter's character undergoes significant growth as he moves from a state of selfish ambition to one of maturity and responsibility, ultimately choosing his family's dignity over wealth. Lena Younger, the matriarch of the Younger family, is a strong and nurturing woman in her 60s. Her deep faith and moral values guide her decisions, and she is determined to provide a better life for her children and grandchildren. Mama dreams of owning a home, a dream she shared with her late husband. She represents the traditional values of hard work, family unity, and faith. Mama's decision to use her husband's life insurance money to buy a house reflects her desire for stability and her commitment to her family's future. Her wisdom and strength help guide her family through their challenges. Beneatha Younger is Walter's younger sister, a college student with dreams of becoming a doctor. She is independent, ambitious, and outspoken, often challenging societal norms and her family's expectations. Beneatha's character explores themes of identity and self-discovery, particularly as she navigates her relationships with George Murchison, a wealthy African-American man, and Joseph Asagai, a Nigerian student who encourages her to embrace her African heritage. Beneatha's journey reflects her struggle to define herself on her own terms, free from the limitations imposed by race, gender, and societal expectations. Ruth Younger is Walter Lee's wife, a hardworking and practical woman who strives to keep her family together. She is often caught between supporting Walter's dreams and managing the realities of their difficult financial situation. Ruth's weariness is evident, particularly as she contemplates an abortion due to the family's strained resources. However, her hope is rekindled when Mama buys a house, giving her the possibility of a more stable and fulfilling life. Ruth's character represents the emotional and physical toll of poverty, but also the resilience and strength needed to survive. Joseph Asagai is a Nigerian student who courts Beneatha and encourages her to embrace her African heritage. He provides a contrast to the materialistic ambitions of characters like Walter and George Murchison. Asagai's pride in his African roots and his philosophical outlook on life challenge Beneatha to rethink her identity and her aspirations. His character represents a broader, more global perspective on race and culture, offering Beneatha an alternative to the societal expectations placed on her as an African-American woman in mid-century America. Carl Lindner is a representative of the Clybourne Park Improvement Association, who offers the Younger family money not to move into the white neighborhood where they have bought a house. His polite demeanor contrasts with the offensive nature of his proposal, which embodies the racism and segregation of the time. Lindner's character represents the institutionalized racism that African Americans faced in housing and other areas of life, as well as the social pressures to maintain racial boundaries. Let's explore together the main themes and concepts of the book. The impact of racism. Racism is a central theme in A Raisin in the Sun, as the Younger family's pursuit of a better life is constantly hindered by the racial prejudice of the time. The offer from Carl Lindner to pay the family not to move into a white neighborhood highlights the pervasive racism in housing and real estate during the 1950s. The family's struggle to escape poverty is complicated by the fact that opportunities for African Americans were severely limited due to segregation and discrimination. The play addresses the emotional and psychological toll that racism takes on individuals and families, while also showcasing the dignity and strength needed to confront it. Family and sacrifice. The theme of family and sacrifice is central to the play, as each member of the Younger family makes sacrifices for the well-being of the whole. Mama sacrifices her own desires to support her children, and she ultimately uses her husband's insurance money to invest in a home for the family rather than pursuing personal luxuries. Ruth works tirelessly to keep the family afloat and even considers giving up her pregnancy out of concern for their financial situation. Walter eventually sacrifices his pride to do what is right for the family, rejecting the bribe from Lindner. The play shows that despite conflicts and hardships, the strength of family bonds is a source of resilience. The role of gender. Raisin in the Sun explores the roles and expectations of men and women, particularly in the context of an African American family. Walter's desire to be the head of the household and provide for his family reflects societal expectations of male leadership and financial responsibility. His frustrations are partly driven by his inability to fulfill this role. Meanwhile, Beneatha's aspirations to become a doctor challenge traditional gender roles as she seeks to pursue a career in a male-dominated field. The play addresses the tension between traditional and progressive views on gender, as characters navigate their roles within the family and society. Poverty and the American dream. The Younger family's financial struggles are a key aspect of the play's exploration of the American dream. Each character has a different vision of what achieving the American dream means, whether it's buying a house, gaining wealth, or pursuing education. However, the family's poverty limits their ability to achieve these dreams, highlighting the economic inequality faced by African Americans in mid-20th century America. The play critiques the idea that the American dream is attainable for everyone, especially when systemic racism and economic hardship create barriers to success. Despite these challenges, the younger family's perseverance reflects their hope and belief in a better future. Let's talk about the author. Lorraine Hansberry, born in 1930 in Chicago, was a groundbreaking African-American playwright and writer. She is best known for A Raisin in the Sun, which debuted on Broadway in 1959 and was the first play written by a Black woman to be produced on Broadway. Hansberry's work was deeply influenced by her own experiences with racial segregation and her family's involvement in civil rights activism. A Raisin in the Sun remains one of her most influential works, praised for its portrayal of Black family life, the impact of racism, and the struggle to achieve the American dream. Hansberry died at the young age of 34, but her legacy continues through her powerful contributions to literature and theater. Sincere thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, consider taking a moment to hit the subscribe button, like or share the video. If you have any feedbacks or book requests, make sure to leave a comment. Regardless, I wish you a great day.